Hello, wonderful humans. It's me, and I'm back with my voice in a video like after 6 months. Today, we're gonna be building a house. I want this video to turn out. I don't want this video to turn out like a speed build, so I'm gonna add commentary and like explanation to everything I do. I'm a speed builder.
Whoa, crazy, right?
And basically today I'm going to be showing how I build a house as a speed builder. My planning process, my thinking process, everything that goes around in my brain. I'm going to be saying it out loud. If you don't know how to build a house or you're a beginner speed builder, I recommend you to watch this whole video because you're going to learn how to build a house. Planning a house is so important, especially when you're on a budget or like you're a speed builder, because if you don't plan a house, you're gonna end up deleting a lot, and deleting is really bad. To prevent deleting, you need to practice and you need to plan your houses. Planning a build is really important, especially if you're a speed builder. It reduces the amount of times you delete stuff, especially when you're on a budget. I remember people used to like yell at me in the comments for deleting. I personally find like looking for inspo of real life houses. I personally just look for both real life houses and Bloxburg houses, just because it helps me, and like replicating a real life house 100% is kind of really hard to replicate on Bloxburg. So yeah, we're gonna be looking for both real life houses and Bloxburg houses, and I'm gonna show you how I find them. I personally think you should not use Google. Like if you search up, for example, Bloxburg house, like the builders that show are like the builders that everyone knows and that everyone has seen before, and planning and making your own house is kind of wanting to like be original in your builds. I kind of just stay away from Google, but if you want to, you can use Google. It's up to you. First, I usually think of a style or a theme. The most popular like theme is suburban, but I'm choosing a suburban because I always make modern houses. Yeah, I try to avoid suburbans just because I'm really bad at making suburbans. Yeah, I like made like 600,000 modern speed builds on my channel. So after I thought of what style I am gonna lure, I actually look at Pinterest or Instagram. So I look at Pinterest, so you search Pinterest, yes. I look at Pinterest for real life house exteriors, and for Bloxburg house exteriors, I look at, what might you call it, Instagram, yeah. But as I said, it's up to you. If you can't have Instagram or Pinterest, then just use Google. I search up in Pinterest, suburban house exterior. There are like a ton, and you just look at which features you like out of them. So for example, I kind of really like over here, I actually really like the double garage door. How they have a double garage door. Now it's not like flat, like it's kind of like layered. I don't know how to explain this, but like I kind of really like that, so I'm gonna create. No, remove this pin. I make a Pinterest board of like houses that I really like. I'm gonna click save, and like I scroll down to more like this and just look for houses that like have cool features that I really like about them. So you just continue scrolling down and until you find something you really like about the house. someone's asking to become
adopted.
After looking at all these houses, it's time to create your own original house. It's hard to be original in Bloxburg because like almost every single house is already made. If you think about it, like building is kind of like a form of art because like if you tell someone to draw like a paper, if you tell someone to draw like a pencil, everyone's pencil is gonna look different and not everyone's pencil is gonna exactly look the same, but they're gonna have the same like features, which is mainly why it's okay to look for inspiration and no one's gonna know that you looked for inspiration. So yeah, let's go get a wall. I actually just keep like a 6 square space from the front of my pot. I actually started off by placing another wall. Like things to keep in mind is avoiding to place like this kind of wall and then going like that. You should avoid that. I never do that.
My mouse keeps breaking.
1, 2, 3, and then like you go down and you have to like have that different like layer kind of thing. Place a wall 2 here, and then we go forward. We place 3 walls, and then place 4 walls, and then we'll go here, and then we'll. Right now, I'm just kind of thinking of like having a double door here, a garage door, and another garage door. And over here, I'll just have a window. I try to avoid building like this. It just looks weird. It looks like you're building a building. You know what I mean? There are some exceptions sometimes where this does look good, but usually it doesn't. So I try to I actually go back at least one block thing. I add the roof of the front, and then like I add these side roofs. They look really nice. I put like this wall. I don't want this to turn into a speed build. Yeah, I try to make the wall like roof thing face there. Wait. Help anyone. Yeah, that's kind of how like I get the front of houses. You just have to go with it like that. As I said, I'm a speed builder. Like, I usually do this before recording, and then I take screenshots of the build, and then I replicate it, and then I delete it, and then I replicate it while I'm recording. That's how I do the front of the house, and then I make a mini blueprint, the rooms in the houses. So as I said, this is gonna be like the entrance, so I'm gonna add a door. I know I've said I'm gonna add a double door, but I changed my mind. And as I've said many times, I try to avoid doing this, having like a flat thing and then just going like that. It just looks really weird, and I avoid having really spacious houses because those take so much time to decorate, and some people are lazy or they can't afford decorating it. So I imagine a layout, like a layout in my head, and then I kind of replicate it. So for speed builds, I pre-build the house. I take pictures. I just don't add any colors, and I don't decorate the house. I don't know what I'm saying. So after you've done that, you should decide on what roof. I do, and I think, well, it takes me so long to find where stuff are. Okay, so you should probably use for suburban's gable roof, or for most builds you should use gable roof. And for the front, I use slanted roof. I recommend you using those two because those are like the only options, you know. Well, those are the most like well-known roofs to use. Same with the flat one. I avoid using automatic placement because it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. Sometimes I look at what it gives me. Sometimes what it gives you is actually good, but usually it gives you like something really like common, like this, like who's gonna build that? What's that? I don't know, I just don't like the way it looks. Like, this is automatic placement. I don't like pointy houses. I also take off the roof, yes. Like, it just looks better than it was before. Now it's time to place windows and doors. I keep forgetting to add doors for the garage. You should try using traditional like garage doors. I literally love them. If you are on a budget, I recommend you using the roller garage door. They look really nice. They have to be the same so it won't look weird. For windows, because it's a suburban, I try to avoid these windows, and I kind of go for these ones because these windows are more of industrial or modern build themes. If I was doing a modern build or an industrial build, I will be using these these windows. So yeah, if you want things to be even, or you're like making spacing that you want to be even, then I recommend you keeping your grid big. I usually have my grid big. Oh my god, I'm literally crying. There's someone just cutting onions in the house. Oh my god, I can't record anymore. At this point, I've just spent too much time working with these windows and I'm still stuck with them, so I'm just going to look at my inspiration. I found out what I was thinking of in the first place, so I'm gonna be adding those like sunset windows, whatever you call it. I don't think they're called the sitting windows thing. Yeah, these things. Big window. Okay, no one's gonna really notice. No one's gonna like inspect your house. I'm just gonna end up using this window. I'm gonna use shutters too because these look nice. How do you talk?
So it's time to make our colors and color this house.
Color schemes are really important in the build because it gives your build like a personality, kind of. Like it just
Discord needs to shut up.
It kind of gives like your build a personality and it gives it more of a mood. Your color scheme should be based off your building style and what you're going for, but I'm going for a really colorful spring summer color scheme. Color schemes are one of my weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses in building. You should probably try not avoiding it and try fighting it and improving it, because like you need to get better at it. So you've probably seen like builders put like walls in the background or something. That's called a color palette. I suck at making color palettes. I recommend you putting at least 3 different colors or more in your build, or else your build is gonna look boring and dull. Color palettes don't help me a lot for the exterior because the exterior, I don't know, but for me, the exterior is like, I just feel so limited with colors when I'm doing exterior. Like, it's not gonna look nice if I just have 6 billion colors in the exterior. One of my weaknesses as well, it's more of like suburban exteriors, because I never build suburbans. I always try to avoid them, and this is why I'm doing a suburban. For color palettes, I usually use Instagram a lot. I just look at people like who built the same way style thing and just save like 5 million pictures and use them for reference to see which colors go together, especially that I'm doing a colorful color scheme. Like, I don't know anything but colors, like, so I always use it for reference and I kind of try to mix and match. Well, there are some kind of like common sense things about colors, like don't use neon colors, they just suck. So after I have my color palette done, it's time to do the gardening. I always add a fence. If you're on a budget, use the tall wooden fence. I honestly love that fence. It actually looks really nice and I always use it and it's not that expensive.
Can give you peace here in your mind. And I say, I found no place in the dead of night to come alive. Life is waiting on the other side. Follow me.
One eternity later.
Also, something that I really try to keep in mind is the minor details of a build, because those just make the build so much better no matter how small the detail is, because collecting just small details, making small changes could eventually create a huge change. Oh my god, I am so inspirational. I have to explain each time my money changes because people keep pointing it out in the comments and it makes me look like I hack for my money or something. Sometimes when I'm like done with the build, like I don't want to build anymore, I just stop and work for like 10 minutes and then go back to building. I don't know if it's just me or if anyone else does that, but I used to do that a lot with my older builds. And like my older builds, people keep stalking my money and they're like, oh my god, your money changed. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna follow the color palette that I made and see if it turns out well. I just recommend you using like 2 colors for the exterior and then making different textures so it won't look like dull or boring. Okay, so I have the windows open and it's really windy and the curtains are moving, so I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just splattering random colors around.
This is why I hate colorful builds. Like, I just don't know what to do for colorful builds. Like,
It's so hard. So I've been playing around with the colors for like almost an hour more like 20 minutes, but this is giving me so much anxiety and I need to get this video done as soon as I can. I need to get this video done because like I've been spending too much time on it and I actually don't take that much time building because I never do colorful builds, and like especially that this build is pretty big, so today's the day that I'm going to try to finish this whole build. Let's just go over what I've done off camera. I have remade the shape of the build because I found the flat area thing. It was just too long and it was so disturbing because like I've just spent like 20 minutes working on it and like nothing really worked out with it. Like no matter what window I'd put or color I'd put, it just won't look nice. So I deleted the roof over here and I reshaped this and I added traditional windows. So for the exterior, I've decided to make it like really neutral. I know I've said that, but yeah, I've decided to make the exterior like different shades of gray and different shades of white because I have been watching some speed builders and that's what they've been doing the whole time, so I was like, why don't I do that? So after choosing all the colors for the house, it's time to just add in some minor details before we move on to gardening. So I always add in wall trims. It is one of the many minor details that you can add to your exteriors. Wall trims are extremely affordable, so if you are on a budget or you are trying to build a cheap house, they aren't really going to cost you much. So yeah, I add in wall trims for the interior of the house and the exterior of the house. It just goes on every single wall, no matter whatever theme you're doing. Wall trims just fit every single wall. Now I just need to paint the back of the house. For the back of the house, I just used around 2 different textures because it's the back of the house.
Like, no one really cares about the back of the house. No one's going to look at the back of the house.
So you just don't need to spend too much time on the back of the house. Now I'm going to add in the upper wall trims. I don't know what they're called, but you know, the upper wall trims. Those wall trims also add a nice touch and a nice outline to your house. I add these usually on the second floor of the house. It gives your house sort of an outline, kind of the same reason why you add pillars. It just makes your house look a lot nicer. Also, I forgot to mention, yes, my money changed. I am not recording this part of the video a week after. I'm so awkward. Also, adding in wall trims for the top of the roof just looks a lot nicer because it kind of gives like a division, if that even makes sense, like an outline to the color of your roof, because usually like your roof color is like usually your roof color should be the same. Looks a lot nicer because it kind of gives like a division, if that even makes sense, like an outline to the color of your roof, because usually like your roof color is like usually your roof color should be the same, if that even makes sense. No, your roof color, you know, the front part of the roof, that part of the roof is usually different than the wall. Nicer when you have a different color for the roof. Looks a bit off when the color of the wall I don't know why, but those windows are the color is not the same. I don't know why, but those windows are just so gray and gloomy. Also, I forgot to color the garage doors and the door. So let me just do that real quick. Also, one of the many touches that you can add to your house is shutters and curtains. Curtains usually go for the interior of the house and shutters go for the exterior of the house. I use the classic shutters all the time because usually I'm doing budget friendly builds, so those are actually not too expensive and they fit perfectly. Also, I don't know how people color curtains. Like, I don't know what colors you're supposed to choose for curtains. Usually, I just leave them the same way they are because I don't know what colors I'm supposed to pick. Like, again, I am really bad at colors. Like, I don't know what colors my shutters are supposed to be. So, usually, I just leave them alone. Haha, haha, haha. So now it's time to move on to gardening. For gardening, I always start off by creating a floor path that goes from the garage to the outside world and the door to the outside world. In this situation, the garage is right beside the door, so I can't really be creative with pathways right now. But usually you can go creative with pathways, and you know, it's up to you. You can use a floor and a pathway. You can just create different, you know, like shapes for the path. But over here, I just went really basic because the garage door and the actual door is just, everything's just beside each other. If I'm going creative for my pathway, I usually add in fencing before, but over here I'm just adding fencing right now because I want to give it sort of like an outline in case of like a reckless driver drives, you know. Since it's an outline connecting like with the wall trims, it should be the same color as the wall trim. Now I'm just going to add in a floor and texture it as grass and change the color of the grass because it looks fancier and nicer when you have a different color of grass, because the current color of grass is just so green, like it's so dark green. I do this in like every single build. I think most builders do this as well. It just looks a lot nicer. Like, I know some people are like, oh, it's just grass, like grass is grass, but I know it's grass, but you know, you need to change up the color of the grass and change the florid fence to a different fence because I don't know, it just doesn't look nice to me. Yeah, I'm probably gonna just go for tall wooden fence. Tall wooden fence is always superior. Always go for a tall wooden fence. This ends today's video. If you liked this video, give it a like, and if you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe because 95% of my viewers are not subscribed yet. Don't be shy and hit the subscribe button. If you want me to make more videos like this one, leave a comment below. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. Also, more voice videos coming soon. And hopefully I'm more confident with talking. So I love every single one of you so much. Thank you for 700 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.